Okay, it's live. Man, that was fat. I figured I had more time than that. All right. Well, I'll get some more people here. Oh man. Let's see if I can move some stuff around. I'm having pizza sticks, man, and some coffee. Starting hard start. Just let's see what we got here. Yeah, pizza sticks. How do I not have anybody in here? The light comes first. First comes the light, then comes the person. And I don't even show all the people when they do. But, hello, come on in. I'm Perry Roberts. Okay, Perry, we gotta talk, dude. You gotta tell me, okay, where you at? Are you a driver? Not where you located, but are you a driver or are you like just a dude with a job? I'm gonna make you a moderator. I heard about that. You can have somebody in there that if somebody's cutting up and I ain't got time for that mess, you give them like a wrench, make them a moderator. I don't even know how to do that. You want to be a moderator, Perry? You're always here. So if somebody says something really jacked, you know, that's just intolerable to the whole group of people that are ever in my live feed, that you can just cut them off, put them in timeout and stuff like that. You know, you want to do that, man? I'll give it to you. But yeah, I was wondering if you was a truck driver or what. I'm having some almonds, man, some pizza sticks. I'll kill that in a second. It's probably too much bass. I just had this CD here. Let's see. It was in my player and I just hit play. I had it for a while. I had this one since '96. I just looked at the cover for it. That's crazy, right? I bought the two CD set. I bought it the day it came out. Tupac's 2 CD set, greatest hits, and I've listened to it, you know, the whole time, but I didn't even know it was in the CD player. Let's see. Not driver, drove around semi. Okay, good enough. Oh, you like the music? Okay, I'll leave it right there then, man, until somebody tells me different. Yeah, I like Tupac. I've got the cover. Hell, where's it at? I was just looking to see what this is. I ain't mad at you, you know. Hold up. So even my haters, I ain't mad at you. There's the cover. I've had that since '96. It's a 2 CD set. So I just shoved that in my case thing. I keep a case of vinyl, little flip over Velcro thing. It's a 2 CD set. One of them's in there, and here's the other one. So if you're looking for it, that's the 2 CD set. It's his greatest hits. Yeah, I'm just I can play that again.
Change? Shit.
Yeah.
I guess change is good.
I didn't even have it up.
Let me take for any of y'all niggas to get up out the hood. Shit, I'm with you. I ain't mad at you. Got nothing but love for you.
There you go.
Do you think, boy? Yeah.
Wait, that might be too much. See, I can't really, I need to turn that amp down. I can actually play that on piano, believe it or not. I ain't mad at you. Central States, what's going on, dude? He come up to like, man, that's loud. Oh, I'm in the Midwest Travel Plaza, Dottie's. Dottie's Family Restaurant. It's Midwest up here in it's kind of, sorry, my voice is still not come all the way back. It's kind of a showing that the name of the town is Cuba, Missouri, but I'd have to look here to see exactly what you might show it as. Let's see. Let's see, 44. It's on I-44. Past up where all the Prime drivers are coming out of. Prime's little stomping ground up here. I'm stepping on their freight. No, nothing against Prime if they just not let their drivers hit the fuel aisle. And I ain't trying to be funny, I'm being real on that. You seen the video. But no, and there's a lot of them on YouTube, so to all the Prime drivers, hey, do your thing, just don't hit stuff. It's all good, and y'all got channels, and hey, that's good. I'm up here in your stomping ground. So I passed by their place and stopped off here. But this is a good truck stop to be at because the lot is massive. If you can't find a parking spot in here at night, you can be creative. Ain't nobody gonna run you off or tell you nothing. They get it because you get some emergency weather up in here, you know, that make you stay. So it's not just about where you run out of hours, it's where you run out of road. Sometimes it's the end of the line, like a bunch of train cars. Yeah, this is the end of the line. It's a heck of a sunset over there. Yeah, man, just working and trying to get it delivered and paid on time, which is the hardest thing ever to do, and I do what I can. I'm having coffee. They got a deal in here where you get these little Nutri-Grain bars for like 50 cents. I'm gonna have one of them, this pizza stick. I done ate my salad, and this ain't gonna be a long feed. This is long enough just for me to get things going and rolling. But I want to talk about batteries though, because I did a video on batteries and I didn't really explain stuff. And so I'm like, I could go over that in my next live feed, you know, for guys that don't understand when you're changing out batteries, there's a few more things to it. So if you don't mind me boring you with that. No, well, there's gonna be a cigar after I get about halfway. I'll smoke a cigar. So like I was saying though, I did a video that wound up like 3 parts. I didn't want to put another 4th part of, so I just figured I'll do this on a live chat, and if people want to listen to my stuff, evidently they find it useful, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not trying to just drop little gems and little pieces of, I'm trying to teach everything I possibly can. So I apologize if it's not even more, I don't know, in depth or, you know, flooding with information, you know, because hey, it's kind of my lunch break, you know, but I will put out what I can. So as far as batteries, there's some more stuff I didn't talk about that I wanted to get into that video, but I had limited ability to record on that, and my card was full. I stopped a couple times just to send it up and get it off my phone and send another one. You know, I'm not keeping this and archiving this crap. I just send it up and let the Google people deal with it. They give me a place to park my knowledge, and I think that's awesome. And then I can share it with anybody. So I'm gonna put up on that. I'll even put this one in Fix It Vids. I'll put it in there too. Call it Batteries Part. I'll change the name Batteries Part 4 or something. But as far as truck batteries, don't run a 650 battery, even if your truck came to it. Came with it. Don't run a 650 next to 1,000 because it'll drag the whole pack down. And the alternator will be trying to catch up, and you can burn up an alternator with either bad batteries that are so low in the first place, or you know, mismatched batteries. Usually it's just going to bake the other batteries. It's going to kill them down, so they won't at that point be able to at some point charge more than 1,000 cranking amps. But the thing is, I worked for a company a long time ago, and I was a company driver, and you'd come up to the ready line is what they called it, where all the trucks were ready to go. And they were day cabs, and they would run them like it was a sleeper, but then they had a hotel set up and you had a credit card for that. Back when they did trust a driver with a credit card, not just the CEOs had credit cards, the drivers had credit cards. Well, so we would get to the ready line and we'd be ready to grab a truck. And in the wintertime, they'd all be dead. Every swinging one of them. The reason why, and you learn after your first winter what they're doing and why. Because the mechanic, you're talking to another driver, your battery dead on your truck too? Yeah, they all did. Really? So you say, why? First you say, is the mechanic coming? Yeah, he's coming. He's down here at the shop. He's coming. Okay, cool. You done called him. Well, he'll jump me off too. So why are the batteries dead? Because these idiots up top in this company thought it was smart to take a 4 battery system, even the newer trucks that would come in with 4 batteries, and remove 2 batteries. Now there's nothing wrong in the summertime with singling them out and running them like that. That's why I wanted to explain this in a video, that if you do have a baked battery, it's gonna take about an hour and a half for that thing to quit smoking. And you're gonna have to pour about 2 or 3 12-ounce bottles of water on it to cool it off and get it. I'll let it cool off for a good 30 minutes, then I start pouring water on it. Anyway, so after that hour and a half, you can run with just 2 batteries, the 2 that are left, that are good, because usually one kills the other, or you've got one that's bad. You could just single it out, but you got to treat the other one as suspect, to be honest. I would disconnect both of them. So it's the one that's in front of and tied directly to the next one. So the one in the back and the one in the front. So the one on the both on the right could be bad, or both on the left could be bad. The one for sure that's smoking's bad, the other one could be, so it's suspect at that point. But I'm saying you can single them out, and you can run a truck all day long with just 2 batteries. It don't hurt nothing, especially if they're 1,000 cranking amp batteries. But there's no sense in buying a 600 something cranking amp battery, some mess like that, or even a 900 and put it next to the 1,000 pack. You're gonna drag them down. But anyway, back to the story about the company. I was in a situation where I learned that they were stupid for taking and running them all year long and even in the winter, and they thought it was okay to have a driver wait and have them come out there every morning and jump all those trucks off, one at a time. All of us drivers all lined up, all pissed off and waiting on our truck. So yes, you can do it, but no, you don't want to do it in the winter, or you will need a jump with 2 batteries. And of course they were using probably 650 cranking amp batteries, the cheapest ones they get. So 2 of those is not going to start the truck on a cold day. And it's too much on the solenoid of the starter to have it not have enough power to turn over this big motor. So you definitely want to have at least 2 good batteries summertime. I would run 3 to 4 in the winter. I'll always run 4 because I go cold weather. And get 1,000 cranking amp batteries. Don't mismatch them. If you're gonna be stuck on stupid and get 900s all the time, that's not that bad. 900's not that bad if you got 4. But just don't mismatch them. But the Loves has got one deal. Loves is 104. Now they moved them up to 100. I think it was 126. One place was 112. 2 different Loves. You got to shop by state. You got to go from one state to the next state. Call them. Get on Trucker Path. Look at the truck stops. Call each state. You'll find out that a windshield, for some reason, is super cheap in Denver, Colorado. I don't know why, but I can imagine it's because there's less shipping involved, because they probably make them up there or something. Somehow, Freightliner Denver, Colorado is the cheapest place out of all the other Freightliners, or has been. Now, some places use aftermarket glass company that's not that AMSC grade whatever glass. Okay, so it's a cheaper glass is why you're going to get a cheaper deal, but it's got to be better. You know, it's got to be the best grade of glass if you're going to really compare it. But comparing glass, the better grade of glass from one place to another, Denver, Colorado, Freightliner is the cheapest. Batteries though, back to batteries. Yeah, you can buy them at O'Reilly's. You can buy them at for pretty cheap. You can buy them at I think that Academy Sports has them. I think that Cabela's has them, but you got to make sure you don't get Deep Cycle. They have Deep Cycle / starting. That's no good either for these trucks. You can get a capacitor bank and run 3 batteries in a cap. But you know, when those go bad, it could throw some power real quick. You know, anything could happen. I run 1,000 cranking amp batteries, and you can go to Truck Pro. Truck Pro has batteries. People don't know Truck Pro is there for you, and they can make ends and the whole terminal slat. You don't have to have the flat blade strip that came with your truck to connect 2 batteries. you can have wires that have ends on them. They can make those at Truck Pro. So if your strip costs too much and you want to do something different than Freightliner, think outside the box. Truck Pro makes them. Some Napa places make them if they have the machine shop in the Napa. Let's see. I think that O'Reilly's has stuff like that, but I'm not sure. Have to have a place to have ends for big gauge, double-aught gauge, and 4-gauge power and ground wire, and sell you the wire, and they'll sell it by the foot. So you're paying by the foot. You find out how many feet it is. If it's like 3 feet of wire, because you got to cut and put in connectors in the middle, then you know you'll find out how much it is. But mine on this newer truck happened to be the kind of wires that came with it, just wire. But a lot of trucks come with those strips. You can replace the strip, and those take a taller head nut. You got to make sure you can find those. But back to batteries. There was something else I want to talk about in that video, and it escapes me for the moment. But let's see here. That's not a bad price for those batteries. I just put 2 new batteries in my diesel pickup for $100 a piece. Yeah, and see, and mine's a bigger battery than your diesel pickup probably takes. Now, I'm not gonna say for sure, but usually yours is gonna be the same size as the 850s that you buy at Walmart, only maybe a little bit, usually not much longer, but you know, maybe a little wider, maybe a little longer. Mine's like huge. Oh, that's the other thing. That's what I was gonna say. I know a guy that runs forklift batteries. You can get remanufactured forklift batteries from a forklift or a battery recon place. Look up Battery Recon, R-E-C-O-N. Try it as one word, try it as 2 in your town. Battery Recon, reconditioning. They rebuild batteries just like the auto parts stores do. That's why they ask for a core. They take the guts out and put new guts in it. Basically, they remanufacture with some of the same materials, and I guess they can recycle the acid too. I'm not sure quite how they do it, but they will have batteries that will take the space of like 4 875 cranking amps. Yeah, 875. Yeah, our trucks are a minimum of like 900 to 925 to 950 to 1000 to 1100. I don't know if I've seen anything more than 18. I mean, let's see. I don't know if I've seen 1875. Where did I see? 1185? Something like that, 1185. But the batteries you can buy for a forklift that are remanufactured, there's these, they're the size and take the place of, some take the place of 3 18-wheeler batteries. Some take the place of 4 18-wheeler. It's just one big battery, one massive battery. So if you're in a pinch, I mean, you could get them for next to nothing. You know, I don't know if they're like 150 a piece or what they are, but go to a recon place and you'll see, you'll be like, what? As long as the dimensions are right, it'll fit in your box. You can put it in there. 12 volts is 12 volts all day long. So they've got those. And they can tell you the equivalent of what it makes up for, you know. And then there was another place that I was trying to think, which, hey, if you're in a car, a lot of times you can go to a battery recon place and you can get a battery for 10 bucks, 15 bucks, that is just as new and just as good as you'll get at Advance Auto Parts, okay? But it ain't gonna have a sticker on it, a pretty sticker, no kind of label. It's just gonna be a black battery, and it's gonna be one that'll last you a year. Hey, you ain't gonna get more than a year and a half out of it. I've done it several years, a long time ago, and they have all sizes of batteries. That's the other place, Exide. Exide is funny. The first 2 sets of batteries that died in my other truck was hauling Exide batteries. I had an 18-wheeler full of batteries I couldn't touch, and 2 batteries and 1 smoking, 2 that need to be changed, you know? Crazy. So, that's trucking. But, so anyway, Exide, E-X-I-D-E, they have dealers in every city, but it has to be a dealer. They don't just I don't think they maybe they do sell some to the public, but I think pretty much they go to dealers. You can get an Exide battery for around $105. So you're going to look for a place like a battery sales place. I think that Freightliner even buys in bulk from them sometimes. I'm not sure, but EXIDE is a good brand of battery. I'm suspect of those Alliance ones now. I bought one to replace the ones that went bad, but it's the heat. That's what I was going to tell, is it's the heat coming off when you're doing a regen on these trucks that's baking the batteries. They should really not off-gas like that. They should just die and go away, you know what I'm saying? And they should last a lot longer. So usually when I change my batteries, I use them for something else, you know, because they're still putting out 12 volts. It's just low amperes. So you know, you can still use it to crank a regular car once you know where it's at, but it has to be way low. It has to be dead for a truck to be good for a car. But yeah, you know, they're dying because of this regen situation, and so you need to know that you need to drop your flap on the driver's side on the Freightliners when you're doing a regen to get fresh air in there and to let the heat out every time you do a regen. They're not telling that, but that's what you should do. I'm telling that. As far as I know, Freightliner still ain't telling that. So you'll bake a set of batteries real quick just doing a regen for how many times, way before the life of the battery should be up. I think that's what happened to my first two. Because after that, the other two have done went through their cycle, and by that time, back when I did that video, they had lasted another, I think it was a year, 8 months or a year past the other two. So they just shouldn't go bad like that. And let's see, and I mean, it's happening to everybody. It's just happening to everybody's truck. So that's why I'm telling it. Let's see, I'm trying to think here. Keep an adjustable wrench handy. I keep mine under my driver's seat, a longer one, because the socket might fall off of your ratchet and might leave you, you know, fighting a fire. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to disconnect the battery quick. So keep an adjustable wrench, have it set to your battery, shove it under your driver's seat. As far as alternators, you can rebuild an alternator. So don't just give them your alternator when you get a new one. Take your old one with you no matter what. Matter of fact, if you come across the shop and somebody says that guy just changed his alternator, he's just leaving that one or whatever, if it's a Delco Remy, oh my gosh, that's worth a couple hundred, because you can take it and get it rebuilt for probably, I think it's like, I don't know if it's 75 or 125 or 150 to get one rebuilt, when they're like 400 or 500 new. And it's good to have a rebuilt one in the bunk. And I could change brushes, like I was saying before, on a car alternator one. I don't know where to get my hands on brushes for the other one. Might be pretty easy, but a lot of times the bearings are worn out on them, so you want to get a full rebuild at alternator and generator shop, starter and alternator shop. Yeah, you got to keep on top of your batteries, and that's the other thing too. Let's say your batteries are dead. These newer trucks, they have a one-way check valve on the air system on the back, and basically it's a valve between the truck back cab and the air line that goes to the trailer. You may have to remove both of them. You can remove those two, or you can take one of the plugs out of your air tank underneath. If you ever have a bad battery and you don't have the air pressure to push start yourself or to roll start, you could use another truck's glad hands and hook up to your glad hand, but that one-way check valve is in line. You'd have to unscrew that. So some people remove them. You know, nothing wrong with having a tractor protection valve back there, but they didn't used to have them, and they're not necessary. So you could take it off and put it back on, or you could take it off and leave it off. And I don't, you know, come to me if the warranty's, you know, kicked out for some mess like that. I'm just telling you the dirty. The dirty about trucking. You can push start a truck by pumping up its air system with another truck. Just hooking glad hands if you don't have the one-way check valve in the way. So you unscrew the air line that goes to your trailer on the tractor side, then you unscrew that valve, then you hook it up that way. You know, screw it back in with that out of the way. You take that out of the loop, remove it, and put the line straight to your truck. But I think you got to do it on both of them. You can do that, or a lot of owner-operators run around with regular air chuck quick disconnects screwed into their air tanks under the truck, and they can just pop in an air line that has a glad hand in on the other end, and somebody can pump up their air then that way straight into the tanks, and they can push in the valve, and somebody can either pull start them. You don't want to pull start in first gear. Don't try to push start a truck in first gear. You'll drag the tires off of it. Is what it'll try to do. But you put it in like, you know, fourth gear, third or fourth gear, and then you just drop the clutch just enough to let it start, give it a little bit of fuel, and rev it up, and then tap the brake because you got a chain pulling you away. I watched a guy try to pull another guy off the other day. Neither one of them knew what they were doing, and it didn't end well. He wound up with a hood ornament on a Freightliner that was shaped like a Peterbilt trailer. You know, the dude with the Peterbilt, his trailer, the back end, his ICC bumper, pushed into his grill. And the back tail lights, the bar that goes across the front, cut one of his ribs on, you know, on the grill and stuff. So you want to carry a long chain, and you want to use a chain because it'll go limp. A strap will be okay, but if you have, like, you know, a regular ratchet type strap, they have stored energy. That's dangerous. But yeah, I'm fixing to be getting off here, get going, but I wanted to drop that about batteries, and I think that's about all I wanted to add to that. I don't know where to go from here as far as thoughts on batteries. I think that's pretty much it. Is that you can get them at all in places. Let's see. Did a video on rust out coolant tubes. Oh, I am doing. I'll tell you what he said here. Dude named Eastwood says, "Hey bro, you did a video on rusted out coolant tubes and recommended a place in PA. Just wanted to tell you I appreciate the info." Eastwood, I would appreciate you just sharing the playlist Fix-It vids and the playlist trucking tips. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole point of my channel. I can give a damn about the rest of it. This right here has got info in it, so I'm gonna put it in Fix-It vids right next to batteries, but the rest of it's fluff, dude. You know, if you don't even like me, if you don't even like the rest of my channel, that's great. Just go and learn how to work on your truck so you're not on the side of the road, you ain't backing up traffic, you ain't getting tickets. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And I appreciate your comment, dude. That means a lot to me, just you making a comment, because you could have just took that info and took off down the road and said, piss on him, I never liked him anyway. And I would never know it. It's good to get feedback. You know, let's see, I've had to pull a Schwann truck to get more propane. Had to pull a Schwann truck to get more propane. I got you. Oh, you dig my channel? Hey, thank you, Eastwood. And see, and you can subscribe if you want, or you don't have to. It's but show up, dude. Because I'm for real. I'm trying to download my brain onto the internet, and you know, everybody's got the mortality, and I'll be dead on the side of the, you know, I'll be dead. I'll be dead. You'll be on the side of the road, and you'll be still watching my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. That's the whole plan, is to put everything I know up here. And this is my legacy, basically. It's like Patton built a monument to himself. I ain't got concrete or money like that, but I'm gonna put everything I know up here, and drivers are gonna be like, dude, you were awesome, because nobody taught me, man. No, you know, on polishing tanks, people were laughing at me in the parking lot and saying, oh, well, you got to pay the tank polisher. I'm like, man, I ain't got money for that. So I, you know, started talking to some people, made friends and stuff. And then that kind of stuff. And so there's a lot of this that nobody wants to teach you. Like, nobody wants you to get ahead like that. They want to sit back and laugh. That's bullshit. I'm just telling you, I'm gonna bring everybody. Everybody's coming with me. I'm bringing everybody up, you know. And my channel is gonna be that specific. For the most part, I'm turning a wrench. So my motto is, does a wrench fit your hand? The answer to that, it does. So yeah, I'm still working on that silver wrench. I'm gonna make some silver wrenches and put up a store and put it in it. But yeah, as far as teaching is exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm not just dropping one video and teaching something and then doing 10 other things. Let's see, I'll let my friends know, check you out. I've been a sub for a few months. Yes, and I'm sorry I ain't been able to keep up with who my subs are. I appreciate you being a sub either way, but and watching. But man, I've been running, dude. I've been trucking. I mean, you see where I'm at. I'm people on 44. You know, the land of snow-a-canes and stuff. So I got old videos I still ain't put up. You know, so. But yeah, I'm just trying to teach, and I used to, man, I've trained drivers and all this other stuff, and this is the way the young guys want to learn nowadays anyhow, is YouTube. This is how they want to learn. So I'm like, I'm cool with that. I dig that. Look, I can go on there, I can park my knowledge, and then at the fuel aisle, instead of one guy asking me in every state, hey, how do you, do this? How do you do that? I can just hand them a piece of paper or a card. I had some cards at one point, or just tell them, hey, go here, go to trucking stuff on YouTube, and that way I can teach everybody and do it one time. I'll take that you want to come back to Minnesota. No. That'd be a quick no. Perry, I appreciate the offer to come and see your fine state. However, nothing against the people of Minnesota. Fine people, I'm sure. But hell to the no, no. Look, the weather sucks, dude. I need something I can run. I get paid by the mile, not by the smile, So I do enjoy looking at scenery in certain places, but it needs to be summertime, and I'm not trying to run over moose, so I'm staying out of Canada too. And I know that gets pretty in the summertime. And in Alaska, they got big holes in the road that'll beat a truck to death. I'm not trying to do that either. Running a business, it's got to be business sense. But like I said, when I can, I'm going to get some more videos up that I've already put in the can. I got miles and miles of footage of all kinds of craziness, all kinds of breakdowns and stuff. Let's see, it's getting warmer every day. The postman said it's getting better every day. This is a good way to look at it. But brother, you can have it. It's got to be warm. Oh, that's another trick too on the batteries, and I'm glad I thought of this. I did want to put that in the video, that this is the ending to the batteries video, if you call it that. This is what I wanted to teach. If you got an issue with a truck, like one bad cell of a battery, and you can single that damn thing out and get it on to wherever you want to get it to, because you can run 2 batteries all day long, okay? Just don't shut it off in the wintertime. It may not restart the next morning. You can run 3 with no problem, and it will restart. But you go down, below 0, you might have trouble. The point is this: you single that stuff out, or like the video where my shock was before I fixed it. Take the bottom bolt off and let it drop down. Things that are intermittent problems that you are going to solve later. The first thing to do is find the cheapest Freightliner and how much it is to get the part at the cheapest Freightliner, because they're all different prices. Second part, I mean, go to Love's for the batteries, or XI dealer, like I said. But the second thing is this: head south, man. Get the hell out of the Snowmageddon. Go somewhere it's nice to change your parts. That's what truck drivers do, man. Wildwood, 75. Exit whatever that is, Wildwood, Florida. Why am I thinking 401? I don't know. Wildwood, Florida, the chrome shop down there and truck stop down there. There's a TA and a pilot that put way too much biodiesel in their stuff and messed up some guys. It stopped them up. Cleaned them out real good, but then they would shut down the road until they changed the filters. It collapsed them. It shoves all the algae and everything in your line. But get back on subject here. Go to Wildwood, Florida and change your parts, man. Be in the sunshine, be under some palm trees, and be like, okay, at least it's doable. And be at a truck stop near that TA where if you needed parts, It's also, there's a Florida, Ocala, I think, has a Freightliner, and there's also a Pilot right there, and there's also the Chrome Shop, and they have some parts, and they have wiring and all kinds of stuff like that in there too, and wrenches and who knows what, and a full shop. So if you break something, you're like, man, I need a shop, they do machine work there. So that's the perfect place to fix your truck when it snaps. That's the trick. That's what all of us do. We drive, something breaks, crap, dude, I'm heading south. Why? You got something broke? Yup. That's the old timer trick, you know? Take your ass south and turn a wrench and then come on back, you know? Because, you know, and the other trick is while you're in Florida, because you took a load going to Florida, forget about Georgia. Forget about Alabama. Just forget about them. The freight that you could haul would be in North Carolina. You want to pick up, if you're going to Deadhead, it's the same amount of miles to Deadhead from like Miami to Atlanta as it is. Maybe it's a little bit more miles, Atlanta to North Carolina, but then you're picking up a load, if you're trying to go to Texas, you're picking up a load that one of them in North Carolina pays more per mile than the one in Georgia. Plus, the one in North Carolina has more miles on it. See, that's the trick. Everybody's thinking, oh man, I got to get up to Georgia. No, you don't. You got to get to South Carolina, North Carolina. Goodyear Tires, good example. I ain't trying to put nobody's name out there, but if you Landstar, that's your answer right there. North Carolina to Texas, you know. Then they got plasma TVs in Denver going all the way down to Miami. It's on how you want to do what. I'm not going to teach all my tricks about freight and all that, but everybody knows Florida sucks because they don't manufacture hardly anything and they actually order everything, and you got to have a real high rate to get out with your hide. Well, okay, fine, but don't be trying to go to Georgia, because Georgia's a low freight rate too, but North Carolina's a little bit higher. It's the same thing. Run up 95. It's a different corridor. Run up 95, go to North Carolina, pick up a load that pays more per mile and has more miles on it. It's got legs on it. You want something with legs on it, you know? So run the numbers, you do what you do, whatever you do for a living, or if you're a company driver, it don't matter anyway, you know? But it's still good to know how to change your own batteries. If you're a company driver, you better be able to single that thing out, or you'll be breathing in, you know, sulfuric acid all night. I caught some of it, I cut that off, you know, but, you know, changing your own airlines. Don't run plastic ones, but if your company's got you stuck like that, you can change them. Ain't nothing but a couple of wrenches. An adjustable wrench and a big, what, 1/18 or something like that. Or 3/4, 7/8, something like that. So, whatever it is. And whatever you want, however, whichever side of the glad hand you want to notch to, you know? But, big wrenches. Standard. I don't know why I was grabbing for a metric the other day. I was so tired I had run 600 something miles and was changing, you know, stuff out. That's what I do, you know. It's crazy, right? You get tired, you stop thinking. And it's coffee time right now. But hey, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just a guy teaching what I know, and that's what everybody ought to do. Make the world a better place before you leave it. And the only way I know how to do that is by teaching these guys so they don't have it as rough as I did. Because I didn't grow up with a, you know, family full of truck drivers that handed me down. I mean, them guys up in Joplin, they got big money, but it's old money. I'm new money, if I call it that. And I say I'm broke all the time, but I, you know, do stuff cheap. And I would recommend that you do the same, because that maintenance account is for big problems. Beat the wrecker in the meantime, beat the shop in the meantime, and it will absolutely help you. And then you can take the maintenance account and pay your truck off. Talk to your company about that, you know, or whoever you got your truck through, and pay it off quicker. Turn around and sell it, get another one, a new one. I like staying new. Let's see, always keep some tools on the truck, metric or American. Yeah, always. Yep. That's my next video, Perry. Perry Roberts says always keep tools, metric or American. Yeah, metric or standard. Yeah. So here's the thing. I call them standard. You know. Here's the thing. That is my next video. One of two. One is going to be tools that you should have on your truck. Okay. Well, it's 3 videos. 2 is going to be parts that you should keep as spares on your truck. And the 3rd video is things that either as a company driver, and that'll be limited, or as an owner-operator, there'll be more to it, that you should be able to change on that truck. And if you don't know how, it's okay, because I put up a playlist, you know, and I got more coming. So I'm gonna make sure that you do know it. I'm not just gonna chastise people and say, hey man, you're not smart if you don't know how to change an alternator or this, that. No, I'm gonna say, hey dude, it would be a good idea if you knew how to change that, and here's how. Or if the guy's in the parking lot and he's like, man, I was gonna look on YouTube. That's what they're doing now. I can send them to my channel. Hey, go there, you know, or somebody else could. There's people blowing my stuff up in Russia, all kinds of places going, you know, oh, trucking stuff. I've heard them. And one Russian guy is subscribed, a couple has subscribed me. You guys are awesome too. Y'all are a little rough on people, man. I seen a video, a guy was supposedly changing a tire on a car on the side of the road. A truck driver, out of his kindness of his heart, decided he was gonna stop and help the guy. And then he said, you know, he went over there and the guy tried to rob him. He got back to his truck and got on the radio, and in Russian told the other driver, said, this guy tried to rob me. I was going over to help him with a tire. And then 4 trucks stopped, 4 Russians beat his ass, beat the brakes off of him, and picked up his car and flipped it over upside down in the ditch. And then they got back in the truck and left. Russia, y'all some toughest, man. Man, tough asses right there. Look, you know, they see what I'm trying to do though, and they appreciate it, you know, because I ain't trying to do nobody wrong. I'm trying to do you right. I'm trying to help out. So I appreciate my followers in Russia, but y'all are pretty tough, dude. I got respect for you. I see what you do. You make your own parts. Now I'm gonna read this comment because I missed it. I'm gonna read this one from Eastwood. The ECM locked up on me in Maine. Maine's a cold place to break down, dude. Hold on a second, let me get back to this. The ECM locked up on me in Maine and the truck wouldn't start. So I thought the ECM was shot. So I went to YouTube and found out about the fuse in the battery box. I changed the fuse and I was up and running. Yup. There's a fuse in there. There's one in your dash. You have 3 brains on a Freightliner, 5 brains on a Volvo. When I say brains, I'm talking about actual ECMs, cab controllers. And so that's the problem with a Volvo. It's got too many, but there's so many multiple codes, denominations of them on a Freightliner that it makes it impossible to even hardly work on them. You just change them out. When one thing fails on the cab controller on a Freightliner, it affects 10 other things. The other day, I was in a parking lot. I heard a beep, loud as crazy, somebody laying on the regular horn, the city horn. I'm like, oh crap, a driver had a heart attack and hit his head on the hood, I mean on the dash or something. And I videoed me running over there, but I had to delete that to get another video up. Point is, I ran over there and pulled the hood because he wasn't in, nobody was in the truck. So I tried to open the door, I couldn't. So I pulled the hood. What it was is, right there was the horn. I knew where the horn was, but it was so loud you can't even find it. That's how loud it was. It was above the driver's side wheel, above the headlight, and there is a plug on it. You can unplug the horn. The shop guy came over there and said, how'd you turn it off without the key? I said, I unplugged it. I didn't turn it off, dude. So he said, really? He plugged it back up and kept doing it. And it started again. So he unplugged it. He opened the door. He said, plug it up now. I was like, it's gonna do the same thing. He said, no, plug it up now. It's okay, so I plugged it up and it stopped. He said, this truck's got a bad cab controller. It's that one over there. It affects the whole system, and that's just one of the things that runs through it. And once it does one thing bad, you gotta go get a new cab controller. He said, and he was telling me, you know, which I already knew there was 3. He's like, there's 3, but then there's also those fuse blocks you're talking about. One fuse block is on the firewall on the driver's side in the front. The other sets of fuses is over there on the passenger side that you have to take your glove box, 4 screws that are star head screws. You gotta have an Allen pack of those. Star heads though, not Allen pack, stars. T15, T16, something like that. And you unscrew the 4 screws to the dash glove box. Pull the glove box out. Lift up the Velcro strap that's holding a plastic cover above the fuses. Take the plastic cover out of the way. It has flaps on each side like wings. Then change the fuse out, you know, if it's under there. And in your manual it says which fuse is what. So keep a manual. If not, get a printout from Freightliner and you'll have a manual. Like I was doing a video, I showed having an addendum to that kind of stuff. So the thing is that your passenger side fuse box is usually the first one to go, except for trailer tail lights is usually on the firewall on the driver's side under the hood. It's not exactly like a car where you have just an 1157 bulb and it's stop, turn, tail. It's a little different. A trailer has top and bottom, so it's two different fuses. Flatbeds just have one. So your pigtail on an 18-wheeler has an extra outlet that flatbedders don't even use. In a star pattern from left to right, it's the left and right ones. Then, so, you know, you can use a test light and you can start testing all the way back. But usually a fuse, usually a bad trailer problem pops the fuse, and that's something else I wanted to teach, so I'll drop it right here. You can buy a special couple of fuses. Special fuses that are actually relays. It's shaped like a fuse, it's got a taller head and a push button, so that when you have a problem that you're trying to actually fix, and you know it's going to pop another fuse when you put another fuse in there. Don't go through all your 10s, all your 15s, all your 25s. Get a relay type fuse with a little red button on the top of it. You can order them off the internet. I don't know if Freightliner even has them, or if some of the shop mechanics might have them, or if TA has them, but get a relay type fuse. It is a fuse, it looks just like a fuse, but there's a red button on top of it and it's taller. Use that while you're repairing it. Then take that out and put a regular fuse back in there. You know, unless it's still suspect and you just want to leave that in there while you ride. I'd recommend leaving your dash glove box out if it's over there, or if it's in the front, you know where it's at so you can stop and check it again. But like I was saying, while you're working on a problem, don't blow fuses like crazy and just say, I'm gonna throw another fuse at it and see if I can fix it. And you'll run out of fuses, man. That's money. So go get you one of them fuses offline. It's called a relay. Or I don't know, I wish I could send you a part and exactly which place to get them. I had a couple I got offline. So that'll help you in this fuse situation. I didn't mean to ignore comments. I was just rolling on a rant here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next one here. Glad hands, oil, washer, windshield washer, fluid, and alternator. Yeah, that's good to have, Perry. But I'm talking turbo boot clamp, air compressor governor, one of those fuses that's actually a relay, a spare tire, you know, extra air lines, O-rings for the glad hands, spare bulbs, spare fuses, rubbing alcohol, jumper cables that are for a truck, not for a car, okay? Because you could try to jump a truck for freaking ever with smaller gauge car ones. They'll get hot. It'll take forever to jump your car off, or your truck off, I'm sorry. And never hook up a car to a truck. You'll bake the car. If you ever jump a car battery, disconnect the battery from the car, and then you're charging the battery, not the car. Then you disconnect it from your truck, and then you reconnect it to the car. So treat it like it's a battery that you drop off at an auto parts store to have charged, and they'll charge them for free. So if you got some batteries and you don't know what's going on, take them to Advanced Auto Parts. Won't cost you a dime. Won't cost you a dime. Man, I'm getting low battery out of that. That's crazy. I'm getting low battery. This thing might kick me out. See if I can push that button and get it going. No, I got battery. I just should have pushed that button. It'll charge it now. There we go. So I'm still eating this thing here, and I don't know, I got into rambling. I was just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to teach, and there's so much I know that I'm trying to teach, and I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying that there's so much that I have to categorize it into separate videos and try to put it out there in a way that people can take one thing and learn it, take another thing and learn it, take another thing and learn it, and then I can actually get all the thoughts out of my head and say, okay, I already went over that. It's done. I already went over that. It's done. But I missed so much on the battery because I was actually physically changing the battery. I wanted it, you know, this info, this intel to go up also. And but yeah, as far as extra parts, man, you just can't have enough. You got to be a rolling dealership. There's nothing between Kansas. Salina, Kansas is the last spot that'll have parts. Bosselman's right there, the Flatbed Willie vinyl shop. Oh no, they changed name from Flatbed Willie. They changed it. I don't know the name of the place. I ain't been up there, but it's not the Flatbed Willie vinyl shop. It's still the same guys in there. They make hats and they make shirts. They'll take a picture of your truck out front, and for like, I think it's 10 bucks or 15 bucks a hat, and maybe 15 or so for a shirt. You'll have your truck on it, whatever logo, whatever kind of mess you're trying to do for whatever channel you got. They'll take a picture of your truck, print it onto the shirt with a background that makes it look like it's next to a mountain or a volcano or whatever kind of background you choose. They'll take the picture of your truck and they'll cut all the way around it with this Photoshop thing, all the way around tires and everything, and stick it on that background in the computer. And then they will put that on a disc for if you wanted to, but they really just want to, you know, go ahead and print you. They'll print you a hat, they'll print you a shirt, they'll print you whatever you want. It used to be Flatbed Willie's. It's Salina, Kansas is the truck stop. I-70 between Topeka and Kansas City, I believe. Or no, it's west of Topeka, I believe. Salina, Kansas. So look that up. And that is the last place you're going to buy chains or parts or anything you need from there to Denver, Colorado. There just ain't nothing. And if there is, those little gas stations that are out there, that some of them have fuel stops, they close up at night, and that's it. And you can't buy fuel. So keep that in mind. And in the wintertime, they're picked clean on any kind of washer fluid. So keep washer fluid and alcohol in case they don't have the kind of winter kind. I showed how to mix it. But yeah, you got to be a rolling dealership of parts and tools, and then you're a resource for another driver that might need your tools. He might buy your part, you know, charge him what it would cost you to go get another part plus the part, you know, so you ain't hurting yourself. But whatever you want to do, man, you know, help other drivers, drivers helping drivers, you know, and we'll all get it going down the road. Let's see here. Yeah, diesel fuel additive. Yeah, Perry Roberts. Yeah. I use my additive pretty much every few tanks or just before I'm getting the fuel oil filter and all that changed out. That's another thing I wanted to do, is one on maintenance, because now they're trying to say, oh, you can go, you know, however many hundreds of thousands if you buy this extra filter, or even on the newer trucks that you can go extended intervals without oil changes. That sounds great, but you better have a grease gun. I got 2 grease guns. I got one that's old and red and paint's flaking off of it, but I love it because it works every time. Sometimes they get jammed, it's kind of crazy. And the other one that's pretty in chrome that a long time ago I bought. I was like, man, I want a chrome one, you know? I bought a chrome one from Sears. I was like, man, I got them at Sears. It was a long time ago. And I still have both of them. They both still work. And I know how to use them, and you know where all your points are. Now, drive shafts are sealed nowadays on these newer trucks, but everything else has got a grease fitting. Especially your tie rod ends. If you don't grease nothing on a truck, grease your tie rod ends. They will go bad. They could break and make you lose control, but they will go bad. They'll have play in the steering. It's not too expensive to change them out, but you gotta get alignment afterwards. That's the part that's the how can you say it, the it's an insult to injury. There you go. Having to have your truck aligned after you just had to pay for maintenance and those 2 parts. I want to say that you can probably do it for a couple $100, but then you add on top of it a couple $100 for an alignment, because they don't want to do a 2-axle thrust angle alignment. They want to do a 3-axle, even though they're only moving 1. Noble's Truck Stop, way down in Georgia. There you go. It's like they do 1-axle alignment. It's something like you can get out there about $125 or $175 or something like that. and they haven't moved nothing except for your front axle. And so if you need alignment, look, that's where you go, you know, and they can get you in and out. That's another thing too. I'm trying to keep people from sitting there waiting for 3 hours for the shop to start working on your truck. That's your money. Get out and turn a wrench. You know, a lot of people learn that way and start getting pissed off. And I'll fix it myself, you know. Let's see, I only have one truck. I can't take the chance on stretching the oil intervals like that no matter what they say. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Even if you do stretch the oil intervals, they haven't magically changed any of the parts on the truck, on the chassis, to make them need less grease. So you still got to take your ass to Speedco and get them to lube the truck in between oil changes anyways. We're talking, you know, 12 to 18,000 miles, but you could grease your truck every other day if you wanted to, if you're just really crazy like that. I know people that run equipment, and they run, they grease them once a week at least. You know, backhoes, track hose. I used to run one, you know. Yeah, right. Yeah. See, Eastwood says right. And so definitely grease your truck, even if you don't. And here's the thing too. If you have a question about whether your oil needs to be changed, I do this every oil change. Even if you get an oil change at a TA, which I don't recommend, I have that, you know, whatever. Fine. If you get it on a TA, they can't do this, but you can say, hey, I'm going to do an oil analysis on this oil. So before you change it, I need you to catch some and put it in a cup. It's best to bring one of them little things with you. They're going to charge you for a kit. That sucks. You don't need the kit for them to send off. A water bottle is fine. An old water bottle that you know ain't got no more water in it works fine. The mechanic will fill it half up and let it cool. It'll be fine. Take that with you with tape around the top, electrical tape, in a plastic bin in your side box to Speedco, the next one you come up on. It'd be like, no, 11, 15 bucks, whatever it is for oil analysis. And then you can get your oil tested that way, and they'll tell you if you got a head gasket leak before you even got a head gasket leak. It tells to the micron level. It'll tell you if there's glycol. Glycol is the active ingredient in coolant, you know, water coolant. So there's no reason for any of that to be in your oil. So if you got glycol over so many parts per million, they're going to tell you, hey, this is scary. This is some scary shit. You might have a head gasket leak fixing to happen, or some kind of a oil cooler. You got an oil cooler that runs water through it too, and interchanges and can mix water, and that's bad for your bearings. Any freezing water between your bearing, which is just a race. It's a metal race. It's not a bearing. It's a flat piece of metal. The oil is your true bearing balls. So the crank rides on oil because it's mounted to a race, but the oil gets in between it. The journals or inserts or bearings. So let's see. I'm getting a pin right now. Oh, hey, see if you can get them to do to catch the oil and then take that oil to Speedco. Like, holler at him now. Get off of here. Just go, hey, dude, is it too late for you to catch some of that oil? He might be able to catch some. He could even, if he ain't refilled it, even if he put the plug back, I'll take it back out, whatever. Get a little bit. If you've got about 3 inches, it's all it'll take, of a water bottle. I have it kind of dry, but even if it's water, they're going to say, oh, it's high on water. Well, you know it had some water in it from the bottle. Yeah, will do. Yeah, do that. And then electrical tape and wrap around the top cap and put that in a bin, a plastic tote or something where it won't spill, or your driver's side little pouch. Take it to Speedco and have them do that out of your maintenance account also, you know. And you could, you know, they could tell you what's going on with your oil. But that's what I was saying is, in between oil changes, since they want to make you go, oh, it's 25,000 miles, 30,000 miles. We used to go, man, 12, 15, 18 with dinosaur oil. Okay, so there's still blow by. That nasty stuff still getting in your engine block, in your case, I'm sorry, in your crankcase, and into your oil. So you want to test it in between oil changes, and if it looks like jacked up, like, and they're saying, yeah, you need oil change. The lubricity's good, but it's smoked. You got a bunch of nasty stuff in here. Or they're showing any kind of glycol, but you're not getting a head gasket, man, at least change the oil. At least. So it tells you ahead of time. It gives you a heads up. And if there's no problems with it all along the line, you've got a record of how your truck has been a good truck. So when you sell it, you can say, here's all the oil analysis. You lay it out like it's a bunch of cards because it's money. Like you play in poker. You know, you lay your cards right out like that. Look at, here's all the receipts for all the maintenance I did, but then here's all the oil analysis for every oil change. They'll be like, dang, if you ain't done it before, fine, start now. Start now with every oil change and do it in between oil changes and have them check. Then you know what's going on inside your motor. You're killing that motor all day long. The only way you're gonna find out is doing oil analysis. About every 18,000 miles. Straight up. While you're getting the truck lubed in between oil changes, because it needs to be lubed. And in the meantime, when you want to say, wait a second, that's costing me money getting this truck lubed at Speedco, get you a grease gun, man. Ask them for a schematic from Freightliner or Peterbilt or Kenworth or Western Star or PACCAR or what was that old truck? What was that old truck? A Marmon. Marmons are not in business anymore. That's just my joke. Hey man, you running a Marmon, go to the Marmon dealer. There's no more Marmon dealers. You can download it offline. No, International Whites, they don't exist no more. But International does. So, get a schematic of where all your grease points are. All of your grease fittings, you know, under your truck. And your drive shaft's sealed. Unless you got an older one, and then you definitely need to know where that's at. Do your universal joint. So, grease them yourself. That's it. Make it part of a post trip. 3 or 4 days. Every weekend. At least every 2 weeks. You know, and then, you know, save your money. A tube of grease costs $1. $1. Maybe 3 for the good stuff. Don't think you gotta have anything except for some, I guess it's just called high temperature, you know, bearing grease, because the white lithium is no good for it, so it's gonna be the red stuff. It's just high temperature bearing grease. So don't think you got to have something that's got Slick 50 in it or this or that or what. Just grease, because fresh grease, and it pushes out the old stuff. And wipe that off so it don't sling it all over your truck, and don't whack your end of your grease fitting tube thing on the inside of your tire. That's just disgusting. I hate it when, that's why I don't even like them to grease my truck anymore, because they just want to take they grease the truck and they pull the fitting off the nipple, the fitting that's on the end of the hose on the grease gun, and they'll whack it to knock that grease off on your tires. So the first thing I do is I pull out front, I say, hey dude, I need a shop rag. Okay. And I'll wipe all that grease off of my tires and walk back in there and hand it to him. So here's your grease bag. Yeah, especially if I ask him not to do it. Don't leave my truck nasty, man. I try to keep a show truck. Don't be trying to trash out, because it's gonna sling it all over everything. And it's gonna sling it off the drive shaft and everywhere else in the back, up on the back of your truck, and that's the hardest part to wash. So, and in your wheel wells in the front. I'm just funny about my stuff, man. Centrifugal force is gonna suck it outward when a tire's spinning, and it's gonna throw it all over everything. That's disgusting, man. I don't need that crap. I don't need you to whack it off on the frame of my truck, and I don't want it on the side of my fifth wheel. I want it on top of my fifth wheel. You can buy them little packets, them little grease packets that just sit on top of your fifth wheel, and they pop when you back under. So go ahead and back under as much as you can with the fifth wheel drop down. Then when you're almost at the kingpin, hit the switch and give it air and lift up, and then back under. It pops them, and then you got grease and you back under. It'll even show you where you get them, where to place them. They sell those at Freightliner all day long. Take it out of your maintenance account. Don't pay money out of your pocket. Keep your money in your pocket. I'm trying to save y'all people money too. Don't be spending money on all that crap. It either comes out of your maintenance account or it comes out of your toolbox. You know what I'm saying? You can save money by getting them tools out and doing it yourself. So I'm not knocking anybody that goes to the shop. I'm not. There's a place for that. You tired, you done run hard, it's a brake chamber, man, go to the shop. Just go to the shop. Have them do a brake chamber. Oh, you're gonna have to shut down a little bit longer. Get you some slave driver. You know what I'm saying? You're not Superman. I'm not Superman. But man, I try to be. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. If I think I can save a buck, or if the mechanic pisses me off and says, we don't know if we can even get you in or not, well, I don't even know. Fine. Go buy the part, put it under your bunk, and go to sleep.
That way, two things just happened. One, you know for sure he's not going to sell that part to somebody else before you get up. Two, when you get up and you feel fresh, you feel frisky, you ain't got to wake up when he tells you to and move the truck and wait. No. You get up when you damn well please and you turn a wrench. Or you take it to another shop, or you check back in with him and say, can you take me now? You can do it your way, not their way. That's your truck. Be a man about it. Stand up for yourself. That's what tall head Frank used to tell me that. Frank, you got to stand up for yourself. Look, I needed to hear it. And matter of fact, if you want to do a video, if anybody wants to do a video that says you need to stand up for yourself, don't take no shit off nobody, I could listen to that every day. You'll get 1 million views, man, for real. Somebody needs to do a video on motivating people like that and say, don't take no shit off nobody. Maybe I just said it. Maybe I'll be listening to this again. But for real, you know, don't take shit off these mechanics, off the shops. They're there to help you. And if they're not helping you, what are they there for? For your money? How you figure that? You made that money. How does that work? Are they in your pocket? Did you marry them? Did you take them to raise? You know, you feel obligated to do what for who for why. If you got a Freightliner symbol on the front of your truck or a Volvo symbol on the front of your truck, you are not beholden to raise the rest of that company for the rest of your life. You don't owe them nothing. Tear the label off the truck. Take it off. You know, put a big G on there. I'm a G. I run myself, man. I'm one dog, you know. Whatever you want to put on the front, get rid of that label. They don't own you. You own that truck. You are only beholden to them to the point that they better stand by their warranty. So you stand up for yourself and they need to stand by their warranty. You know what I'm saying? And don't take no crap off of them, because just because you roll in their equipment, they're lucky that they've got free advertisement going down the road and that you don't rip that label off of it. And you let them know when you go in the shop. Tell them. Say you're lucky you don't rip the label off. It says, you know, Freightliner or Peterbilt or whatever, because it's breaking every 5 minutes. I don't even know if I want to rep y'all no more. You know, tell them you keep it up, I'll stick a Freightliner symbol on this Peterbilt. Tell them that. See what they say. Oh, well, now we need to, you know, yeah. Start buying Freightliner parts. Change it all out. No, yeah, if somebody wants to do a video like that, but seriously, you don't owe that shop all of your maintenance account from day one. You're not beholden to them. You don't owe them jack nothing. Buy wrenches and do what you can do, and I'll try to teach you what I know so you can do even more. And I hope there's other guys out there that's mechanics that take heed and say, wait a second, I'm a full-on mechanic. I can teach stuff this guy can't teach, that maybe he could have them do too. So yeah, dude, with the oil analysis, get that while you're getting your truck greased. Get you a grease gun and cut out the middleman and grease it yourself. I'm not saying you gotta get out there and grease every week. I'm not giving you an extra job, dude. I'm saying you can. You're more than welcome to. I guess I need to do a video on that too. Sorry I ain't put it up yet. I'll put one up. These are all the points on this truck, how to grease it. I'll do one for every one of them. I'm gonna do a review on the 2016 of every truck and the 2018 of every truck. I don't even like 2017, it's the same thing. So I'm gonna do one for a Peterbilt, do one for a Kenworth, do one for a Freightliner, and show when you get in the truck. I'm not spinning around in circles like a ballerina. I'm gonna say, hey, you just took possession of this truck and the owner said you need to get to Jacksonville with it from Texas. How do you turn on the headlights? How do you turn on the four ways? How do you turn on the cruise control? What is the location of, you know, the jake brake, of the bar for, you know, trailer brake, of the, you know, turn signals, you know, marker interrupt, the fuel gauge, everything that matters. The rest of it's fluff anyway, right? It's behind you. That's where you sleep. But I'll show how them switches work too. But I'm gonna do a review on them, but I will do a review on the grease fittings. I'll show a schematic. I'll be under the truck, safety glasses and all that, on a creeper. So I have a rolling creeper. So it's creepy. So anyway, I'm gonna sit and chill for another sec, then I gotta get rolling. Anyone wants to say anything, raise your hand, say what you say, man. It is what it is, you know? fix the power of this, and I need power over there. Yeah. Hold tight for half a second. Okay. Oh. Coffee. But I do appreciate the comments, by the way. At least I'm getting feedback, some kind of feedback, haptic feedback, noise, anything's good. Good, bad, otherwise. I take helpful criticism, constructive criticism too. Somebody says, you suck, that's not helpful. Somebody says, instead of doing this, you should do that. I give it a thought, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, if somebody says, you know, hey, there's an easier way to do that, still, I know, then, you know, teach it. Or if you don't want to teach it, explain it to me better, man, I'll teach it. Like, I've got a new way that I learned a few years back, about 4 or 5 years ago, how to cage a brake chamber with air pressure. With a fitting that screws in, you unscrew the line, you screw that fitting in, and pump it up like it's a bicycle tire or something, or an inner tube, and it pumps up the brake chamber to cage a brake chamber instead of using the caging tool. And you can change a brake chamber just like that. So that's some trickery right there, man. That's crazy hacking. So if you know tricks like that, let me know. You know, I'm putting them up. Or if you want to put them up, give me a link. If it's good, I'll put it up. I got playlists where I put other drivers in it, like, you know, Tell It driver. People talking about, I'm not gonna remake somebody's video, tell about their story unless I think it's relevant and I need to talk about it. So they already did it. I'll promote it. I'll put it up. You know, that's the playlist. So if you got a video that you want to do, want me to promote it, send me the link. I'll check it out. If it's good, I'll say, hey, this guy, he did this. That's awesome. Check out his channel. Here's this, you know. And I'll support anybody trying to do their little thing. This is just me trying to do a little thing. So right now though, I'm at the tail end of a break. I'm getting going. So people, y'all stay safe. This is the Midwest Travel Plaza, but stay out the Midwest because it's bad weather. You know, coming anyway. Or at least up in Chicago. Maybe it's gonna be okay here, but it's gonna be kind of cold and some rain. So I'm gonna do what I do. Y'all do what you do, and leave comments, man. Don't be scared to blow me out. Yes, I have a penalty box, but I'm not gonna penalize everybody or beat up everybody just because of one kind of comment or what. I didn't mean to scare everybody with that, but for real, I ain't gonna take no shit either. So we're gonna keep it clean, keep it tight, keep it right, and keep it helpful and positive and productive, and move forward from where we're at right now. Because backing up, don't pay by the mile. You back up into a spot, that's backing up. That's backwards. We're gonna move forward. You know, I'm gonna let you hear a little bit more of this, my CD, and hey, that's the way it is. And I'm gonna get out of here. I bought this in 1993, I believe, or 1996 or 8. What's that thing I hear on it? Death Row Records. What we got? It's a 2 CD set. Let's see what we got. It says it on the other CD. There's only 4 or 5 songs on each one of these that I like, but I really liked them that much that I bought it. Let's see. Is that 1998? I know I bought it the year it came out, and as soon as it came out. 1998. Death Row Records. Pretty sure it's 98. Tupac? Oh man, so you can't see it. It's an old Bruce Hornsby and Range song. I play them both on piano. Check it out. Greatest hits. So that's what you're looking for. Yeah, Bruce Hornsby and Range did it. It's a completely different song. Same piano, a little bit different on piano. I like them both. Both of them. And I didn't think you wanted to hear Rob Zombie. I got some crazy music, man. I got CDs that y'all know nothing about. You're like, you listen to Rob Zombie? Oh yeah. You can run at night and listen to Rob Zombie. Dragula, crazy stuff. You gotta watch your foot. You be going too fast. And that's another song. I never been to California. Love the song. You know? Now, there's some people on here, on YouTube, that know a little something about California. They can tell you about California. I just like the song. And I like Tupac. Everybody's different, man. So, and I hope you like my music, but I don't give a shit if I turn you off, because for real, that's what I'm gonna listen to. I'm gonna teach what I teach, and I'm gonna hear what I want to hear. You know. That don't even go in that slider. Try to put away stuff and get ready to ride. Yeah, they released that song in '95, that's right. But they released the greatest hits album, the 2 set, '98, I believe it was. What that said there, so. We're rolling. Stay safe. I'm out. Peace.